Hmm. What in the world? KP Heathen, good evening. Welcome. In the Bud Files. Welcome. Hello, Gina. How you doing? How are you doing? Welcome. Yes, good morning from the Philippines. A beautiful country. Um, Ed's Dance and Review is Gina's husband's channel. She does a lot on the channel. And I don't know, it may be her husband on right now, or it might be Gina, who is an educator. She is working on her doctorate. She's a teacher in the Philippines. And she's very energetic. Really a excellent dancer. Exercising. A lot of energy. So, getting ready for school. I had I had a work day for the morning in my room, and then in the afternoon I had to go over to the West High School where I attended a meeting or a get together for RISE teachers, mainly junior high level. I don't think the high school people were there. It was mainly junior high with some uh, psychologists and people in the program. Went over there with my one of my paraprofessionals, and it was good. Learned a few things. I went to the meeting last year. I was asked to go to that meeting last year. I went to the meeting last year, and I mean, I could tell you some stories. I could tell you some stories. Ran into a few people I hadn't seen in a long time that recognized me. I said, well, back in the day, hair was a little bit, different color in the hair, and a few less pounds. But tomorrow will be what they call convocation. So that's when the central office does their thing. They'll have cheerleaders, they'll have speakers, they'll talk about how great this coming year is going to be, how well we did last year. It's like a opportunity for them to pat themselves on the back and try to pump everybody up. That'll be tomorrow over at a local church called Faith Family, 8:30 to 11:30. Tomorrow afternoon will be work day. I'll have a work day on Monday. And then Tuesday, school starts. Trying to get the room together. I'll do another short on my room showing what the room looks like. And hopefully get all that taken care of. So we'll be ready for school on Tuesday. Slow start to the stream. Slow start to the stream. 2 in the house. Oh Lord, you still here, heathen? I am tired. Push a button for top chat. And here we have the comments. I still have, I believe it's 1,676 or 1,677. Still got 20 some odd to go before I hit 1,700. I'll be doing a 1,700 subscriber giveaway. And that'll be an enhanced goodie box with a nice first aid kit in it. Whoever wins should be pleased. Hello, Black Widow. Ooh, it's a slow evening, Widow. And I still have not watched your mail call or unboxing. I apologize. Hello, Nita. Or excuse me, hello, Ned. Oh, I'm going to watch it, Black Widow. I've just been tired. I got in a little while ago. I stopped off, pumped gas, got a coffee. When I'm drinking coffee at night, yeah, I'm tired. You know, I wanted to make sure I made it through my stream. Nids Mosul Vogue, welcome. I have a bunch of comments. I'm way behind in the comments. I'm way behind on comments and reading comments and everything. I'm sorry. The important thing is you got your box. I was happy to give it to you. And I will watch it end to end, maybe watch it twice on both of my channels. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing? I'm trying to get my act together for school. I spend a lot of time going through and resetting all my passwords, updating all my passwords for programs I have to use. One that I need, I'm not able to get into. Won't accept last year's password, would not allow me to update it. I let the powers that be know, and they say, oh, take care of that, because they want to make sure I'm up and running. So I'm pretty sure that'll get taken care of. I will be going to sleep after I get off the air. But I'm trying to avoid canceling. 6 in the house. I have not went to have my eyes checked. I need to go have my eyes checked. and get new glasses. My new frames will probably be looking like these frames, because like in the last 3 times I've got glasses, I basically have used the same style of frames, just new frames. So a lot of times it's like, you went and got glasses, they don't look different. Well, no, they're not different because they're a different prescription, but it's the same frame. I use the same style of frame. I normally wear a white long sleeve dress t-shirt or dress shirt. I wear a white long sleeve shirt to work with a pair of slacks and shoes and such. Dress shoes or Skechers or whatever. And every day I pretty much wear that same white shirt. People are wearing different shirts and t-shirts and blue jeans and all that, and I'm wearing a pair of, khakis or dress pants, nice shoes and a white shirt. That's just the old school way I am, And somebody said, I said, well, I have 12 of these. I have 12 of the white shirts. I have one short sleeve white dress shirt. Once in a while I wear the short sleeve. Once or 2 or 3 times a year I'll wear the short sleeve. I wore that earlier in the week, and but I'm pretty much a creature of habit. You see me out and about when I'm dressed, I'm usually wearing a long sleeve white shirt, some slacks, and some shoes. I look decently, I look like a semi-professional or whatever you want to call it. I don't look like I'm out walking around on the street. 5 in the house. 6 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Hillbilly Josh, how you doing, Hillbilly? Last night, I didn't have that big a turnout last night. I did not have that big a turnout last night. But I had over 14 watch hours from the live stream. 14 watch hours. I'll give you an example. They do a 28-day cycle. YouTube, the algorithm, and they calculate how you do on a weekly basis. They calculate how you do on a 28-day weekly cycle, or 28-day cycle, 4 weeks, basically a month. And I look at, it'll tell me how many watch hours I have, or how many views I have, or whatever. So I have right now, I'd have to check, but it's over 18,000 views for the cycle. 1,676, 1,677 subscribers, and my watch time was 440-ish, which is down. I like when I'm averaging over 600. So what that basically would mean was every day during the cycle, if I'm running at about 600 watch hours, that's about 20 watch hours a day, cumulative. Right at about 20 cumulative watch hours a day. And what that would be is, that would be if 20 different people watched stuff of mine for 1 hour each. That would be what 20. A watch hour is when you get 1 hour of watch time, or a combination of 1 hour. Multiple people watching different shorter things, not shorts, because you don't get watch time for shorts, but multiple people watching shorter things or longer things, or whatever I got out there, and it comes to 20 cumulative hours of watch time. Like last night, that live stream I did, during the live stream, at the end, the snapshot said I had a little over 14 hours watch time for that live stream. So I was pleased. You know, anytime I do a live stream, hello Melinda Elliott. Anytime I do a live stream and the live stream gets at least 10 watch hours for the actual live stream, during the actual live stream, I'm pleased with it. Melinda Elliott and Alakaneda Vogue, thank you for both coming in. So I'm learning a lot about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a big deal. I went to school this morning, and at 8 o'clock, I was signed up for a Zoom meeting where I basically was going to go in and listen to these people talk about this particular program and how it will benefit my teaching. Newer technology. Well, they were 20 minutes late getting started because they were having technical problems, with the live stream. I don't normally do Zoom, so I had to go to the App Store and add Zoom. So now I have the Zoom app on my phone. I watched it on my phone. I have Zoom on my school computer, but I didn't have it on my phone, and I was using my computer to do other work while that Zoom was going on. So I basically was sort of like double tasking. It would be like if I was doing something other and you guys are talking here and I'm listening to the talk. Every once in a while I look over to see, what I see. So that's how that meeting went. Yankee Kyle. Welcome, Yankee Kyle. Thank you for coming. And Mimi's Place. Welcome, Mimi's Place. Hello. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. 8 in the house, 11 likes. But, technology, it's great when it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, you're sort of in a bad way. It's not good if it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Mike Crusher, good evening, Mike. Mike has a good review channel. He does meal reviews, ration reviews. He does freeze-dried food reviews. He does like reviews. And he's got a really good channel. He puts out really great material. His reviews, I love his reviews. Makes me want to go eat it. What the world? My grandfather, both of my grandfathers were farmers and ranchers. Both of them basically had land, cattle, and farmed. My grandfather, my mother's father, passed away in 1959, which was right at 3 years before I was born. My parents were married for 21 years before they had me. Now, my father's father, who was a rancher and a farmer in Georgia, he died in 1932, 30 years before I was born. My father at the time was 19 years old when his father passed away. He was the eldest son. And he had to try, and this was during the Depression, he had to try to take over to help mom to raise all the little kids because he was the eldest son of 9. And I can tell stories about that, you know. But I have pictures of my grandfather who I never met. I'm told I sort of look like him, but he was clean shaven. He was bald, but he didn't have a beard and he didn't have a mustache. And look a lot like my mother's father. He always wore a white long sleeve dress shirt. Whenever you saw him out and about, he was wearing a light long sleeve dress shirt with dress slacks and shoes. When I say he was a farmer, he did not do a lot of the farming. He was an older man by that time, but he had people that would work for him and do the farming. So like he had like a nice tractor. So he had somebody that would drive the tractor and do the cultivating and do the various, he had people that would pick the crops. They'd come in and they'd pick, like back in the day when they used to pick cotton by hand and that kind of stuff. He had people that would come in and they'd pick cotton, or what they would do is like they'd run through the field with the machine to pick the cotton, and then you'd have people go back behind it to pick up the leavings, the stuff that the machine missed. And that was back a long time ago. Many, many, many moons ago. He died in 1959. My father's father died in 1932. So I have a lot of pictures and photos and such, black and white mostly, from back in the day, like, how things were, the type of cars that they drove. People used to dress a lot nicer back then. They dressed up a lot more. When you would see them out and about, you wouldn't see them in blue jeans. Ladies were wearing really nice dresses. They'd have their hair nice. They'd have makeup on. They'd have hats. A lot of times you see that women would wear hats. Men would wear hats. You'd see them dressed up. They'd be dressed up fairly nice. And they'd have and they might have a suit on, and the suit would have a vest, and then have a coat over that. And then they were wearing a hat. Back in the days. Everybody used to dress a lot better. Aiden A1K Gaming. Welcome, Aiden A1K Gaming. And Melinda, thank you for linking channels. James Ortiz, my friend, how you doing? I will tell you, James puts out, I haven't seen him recently. I don't know what's going on. I gotta go check. I need to go check his channel. The thing is, like, sometimes during the day, I'll just go through flipping through shorts, what comes up in the feed, and people that I follow that put out a lot of shorts, I'll get 2 or 3 of their shorts in my feed. And I was doing that with James. I'd get a lot of his shorts and I'd leave a comment, a like and a comment. And I hadn't seen much lately. So I don't know, he may not be putting out much. Are you putting out much recently? Hello, Yoda, my friend. Yoda Papa Vintage Cards, my friend Dave. Dave and Echo, the wonder couple from Georgia. They're both very nice people, and they both have very, very good channels. And they're both a blessing to their friends and family. Very good people. And if you want to know anything about card collecting or YouTube, oh, Vintage Americana, you changed it. You said you were going to be modifying the name of your channel. Yeah, I did 2 days of nuts and bolts. I did 2 days of nuts and bolts. Hello, little lone prepper. Tuesday and Wednesday were what they call nuts and bolts. Today, I had a Zoom meeting that I attended for about 30 minutes, which got started 20 minutes late. I wasn't happy about that. And I went to a meeting at the high school, one of the high schools, after lunch from 12:30 to 4. I worked in my room a little while this morning, trying to get ready, trying to check on schedules for students and running copies of education plans and paperwork and such, making sure I've been changing up all my passwords, making sure all the programs that I use, passwords are up to date. Yeah, I've been doing, just getting ready. You can call it nuts and bolts. Tomorrow morning, I've got to go to what they call convocation, which is when the central office has their turn at us for half a day. They're going to use the biggest church in town, Faith Family, which will seat over 2,000 people, and they're going to do the central office's version of a pep rally. They'll have the bands there. They'll have cheerleaders. They'll have the various people talk, introduce themselves, pump up the schools, talk about how great the district is doing. The interim superintendent will talk about how they're looking for a new superintendent and how things are going to be great this year. That kind of stuff. And that will go on for 3 hours. That'll go on and I got to get there almost an hour early in order to get decent parking. But yeah, I got that tomorrow. Then the afternoon will be work day, and then I've got one work day Monday, and then Tuesday school starts, and the kids will be coming in on Tuesday. So I'll be glad. Idaho Garden Girl, welcome. I will be glad when we basically just get down to it, and where we can get started for the year. I mean, I know this stuff is necessary. I know that I pick up stuff that I need, going through it, but it's a pain in the butt. When I came back to work last year, and I was what they call onboarding, I had to watch and sign off on 16 videos, different lengths, over different topics. Well, it's been less than a year, and here we go again, and I've got to go watch the same 16 videos and sign off on the same 16 videos. And that, and then there are other ones. The nurse's got this, and this person's got that, and technology's got this. And everybody wants a certificate that you watched it, or you fulfilled it, or you did whatever to it. It's just, I mean, truly. I watched a real good rant. Walter Davis, who hasn't been here the last few days, but he's a frequent flyer on my channel. Walter Davis is up in Pennsylvania. I watched a video by Walter, and he was on a rant about the politicians and about all the stuff going on and about the media and about just talking about how things are going and how, everybody's in an echo chamber. If you're conservative, you just listen to conservatives. If you're woke, you just listen to woke. And you're in an echo chamber where you're basically hearing what you want to hear. And neither side hears what the other side has to say. And his perspective is, is that each side has a little bit right. I think that's what it is each side has some right and some wrong. But that you don't know because you don't hear both sides. If you heard both sides, you could pick out the best of whatever you like. You know. So there is some logic to that. But you know, I don't really like politics. I do like some of the shorts that they're putting out. They're putting out some pretty. They're doing a lot of Elon Musk voiceover type things that they've got a mechanical voice with a picture of Elon talking, and he's talking some mess. He's really talking mess. It is so funny. It's so funny. Same thing, you know. They got Trump saying stuff. They've got people. There are like 2 or 3 different women that do impersonations of Kamala Harris, and they got Kamala Harris down pat with her rhyming word salad that she speaks, and the way she laughs. You know, the cackle laugh of hers. They do a good job they do a good Kamala Harris. You know. You know, I mean, we're going to go through that for the next 3 months until the election. We really are. He did one that was about 8 minutes, and this was like a few days ago, and he titled it something like "Kids with Big Toys," and he was like, I think he was operating a piece of machinery, a big like a digger or something other, and he was talking, you know, and he did his little, you know, for about 8 minutes, and it was really good. I mean, he's very deep, he's very intelligent. He puts out some good stuff, you know. Most of the people that come on my channel here are content creators. I mean, there are a few people who just, you know, they basically just support, you know, but most of them are content creators, and the content they create is good. You know, just pick out what you like. You know, people put out different stuff, like different stuff. Just pick out what you like. 16 likes, 10 in the house. Please, who would like to support the channel, will be greatly appreciated. Well, I will tell you from what I have seen and what I have heard is that you may never get another election, or you may, where the Republicans, if they win the election, will have the majority of the votes. But the way that the Electoral College is set up, you can win without the majority of the votes, as long as you win the majority of the votes in the states with the electoral votes. So, like California, that's probably 70-80%, you know, blue. You've got a massive number of people who vote blue. Not that many people who vote red. Rural, yes. If you look at the map of where the votes are coming in from, most of the rural areas are redder, and most of the big cities are bluer, you know, largely blue. So, you know, you can win the state of California and you get a certain number of electoral votes. 40 some odd electoral votes. But you could theoretically win the state with 3 million votes, or you could win the state with like 10 million votes. Maybe. I don't know. But the idea being that it doesn't matter whether you win the state with 3 million or 10 million, you still win that state and you get the electoral votes. However, the popular vote puts you way over on popular vote. So like when Trump beat Clinton in 2016, she had more popular votes. I mean, more people voted for her than voted for Trump, but he won the states that he needed to win and got the electoral votes he needed to win the election, which he did. Hello, Mom of 4 boys. How's it going? So, you know, it could be that Harris wins the popular vote and Trump wins the election because of the states that he wins, because those so-called, the way the election usually goes is that there are certain states that you know are red and certain states you know are blue, and then there are states that can go either way, and those are they call the battleground states. And if you win, there's like 6 battleground states. If you win the majority of those battleground states, you win the election. If you don't win the election. So there were some, states where, a couple of the states where the difference in winning and losing was like 10,000 votes. 10,000 votes or less, somewhere around there. And that was the difference between win and lose. Like Georgia. Georgia usually would vote Republican. It might be a close race, but Georgia would vote Republican. Georgia has a Republican governor. Both of these senators, because of what happened and the way things were in the runoff elections and everything, and who they ran, Georgia now has 2 Democrat senators. Now, when there's another election and the Republicans run a decent person that can't be snowballed, or that people aren't going to complain because, oh, he's got an illegitimate kid or whatever, like with Herschel Walker, who was a great football player, but he's not a good politician. He ran as a Republican, and he lost. And he lost to a socialist, So it also depends on who you run. You got to run a decent candidate, because there will be people that if you don't run a decent candidate, with Democrats are going to vote for the Democrat if the Democrats ran the Antichrist. The Democrats are going to vote Democrat. Now, some of them are waking up, and some of them are seeing the light. A few of them are. So, some of them are switching parties. They're switching parties because it's so bad. Some of the beliefs and some of the things that the party has gone to, it's just you can't stomach it. But the majority of them will vote the way they normally vote. Now, when it comes to a Republican or an independent, they say independent, more conservative, but they tend to be independent. So they don't call themselves Republicans, but you can count on them to vote Republican if the Republicans run a strong candidate. If the Republicans do not run a strong candidate, they're liable to vote for the Democrat. And the Republicans need a lot of these independents, the so-called independents. They need a good number of them to win the election. That's my take on how things are going. I don't want to. Hello, Jocelyn. Welcome. I really don't. And what I have said is I'm not trying to push, my beliefs on anybody. You do what you feel like you need to do. I mean, I like, one of the things I like, about Elon Musk is he said one time, he says, my wallet is Republican and socially I'm liberal. So he was for a lot of, things that the more liberals believe in, but monetarily, when it comes to money, he's conservative. He's conservative. But let people live the way they want to live. If it doesn't affect you, don't worry about it. But don't mess with his money. And that's the way a lot of people are. Do what you want to do. It is for me or it's not for me, but don't mess with the money. And the thing is that they're messing with the money. The value of money is going down. That makes things cost more. And that's affecting everybody. Whether you're conservative, whether you're liberal, whether you're whatever you are, you're paying more at the pump. You're paying more for food. You're paying more for, everything. You are paying more. And that's the God's honest truth. Well, however you vote, that's the way things are. You're paying more. 11 in the house, 10 likes. Oh, 11 in the house, 20 likes. Thank you for 20 likes. Equal opportunity recession. That's true. Yes, there's a council, I think, in Europe. They meet in Europe. A bunch of the old family blue bloods. They've got old school family names. I don't want to mention any of them because I don't want them to send somebody after me. But yeah, and they sort of like have their own little parliament type thing where they talk about what they need to do, and they control a lot of money, so they control the way the money runs. You know, they're trying to orchestrate things to move to eventually move into a government that would be like worldwide. They want a worldwide government, probably towards socialism. You know. You know, most people do what you want to do, just don't mess with me. You know, do what you want to do, don't mess with me. If it doesn't affect me, I'm not worried about it. When it affects me, I worry about it. You know, somebody, somebody does something other, and then it affects you. When it starts affecting you, that's when you become concerned. You know, if it affects you. If it doesn't affect you, people a lot of times don't worry about it. They don't care. They don't care. So tomorrow, I have a work day after convocation. Half day convocation, then a work day. It's been a long day and I'm really tired. I think I'm going to cut it off right now. Thank you.